In the verdant expanse of Varlamore's Talati rainforest, where ancient temples pierce the canopy and the humid air hangs heavy with the weight of forgotten gods, there stands the Temple of Talteok. It is a place of reverence, of sanctity, of contemplation. It is also, as fate would have it, home to a tourist named Alan and his companion, an egg. This is the story of Scrambled. The adventurer arrives at Talteok, drawn by rumors of a stranger occupying the sacred grounds. They ascend the temple steps past weathered stone and offerings to gods whose names have been lost to time. There, in the temple's heart, they find him. Alan, tourist, squatter, guardian of the egg. The egg sits upon a wall, serene and perfect. Alan calls it many names: Humpty Dumpty, Humpty Plumpy, Wumpty Scrumpty, as if unable to settle on which title best captures its essence. But names matter little. What matters is the bond between man and egg, a bond sacred beyond measure. Alan speaks with the fervor of the devoted. He must prepare a feast, he explains, a celebration worthy of his companion. But he cannot leave the egg unattended. Not for a moment. The adventurer, perhaps moved by Alan's devotion, perhaps simply curious about why a man is living in a temple with an egg, agrees to watch over this most precious of charges. Alan departs. The adventurer turns to regard their ward. And then, gravity makes its judgment. The egg falls, not gracefully, not slowly, just falls. The sickening crack echoes through the temple chamber, final and irreversible. Humpty lies shattered on the stone floor, yolk and shell mingling in a tragedy as old as the walls themselves. Bollocks. The adventurer inspects the remains. There is no coming back from this. No healing potion, no prayer can restore what gravity has claimed. They must find help. They must make this right. The adventurer races to Tal Teclan, the nearby settlement nestled at the forest's edge. Citizens direct them to the King's Inn, where they will find King, not a monarch, but a woman. A bartender who apparently commands the most capable individuals in the region. King listens to the tale of the fallen egg. She cannot leave her post. The bar must be manned. The drinks must flow. But she has men. Capable men. Men who can surely solve this crisis. 3 men answer the call. Nezkedi, who speaks with quiet confidence. Kawiodel, whose racing cart stands broken but whose spirit remains whole. Aketsin, the blacksmith whose forge has shaped countless tools. Together they journey to Talteok to assess the situation. The adventurer explains Alan must never know what happened. The egg must be replaced before his return. It is the only way. The 3 men examine the shattered remains. They exchange glances. A grim truth settles over the group. All the king's men cannot put Dumpty Lumpty together again. But perhaps a replacement could be found. 3 men, 3 opinions, 3 types of eggs to consider. The large chicken's egg, the dragon's egg, the jaguar's egg. They cannot agree which would serve best. The adventurer offers a simple solution. Retrieve all 3, and let the men decide which best resembles Scrumpty Lumpy. And so, the hunt begins. The adventurer ventures south to the chicken farm on Tal Taclan's outskirts. A simple task, they think. Chickens are common, their eggs plentiful. What could go wrong? They search the pile of eggs. A nearby chicken does not take kindly to this intrusion. What emerges is no ordinary hen. It's a large chicken, protective and filled with maternal fury. The battle is brief but fierce. The chicken fights with the desperation of a mother defending her young, but the adventurer prevails. They search again. A large egg, pristine and white, is claimed. 1 down, 2 to go. The dragon's den lies to the southeast across the river's width. The adventurer prepares for combat. With shield and potion to counter the dragon's fire, they descend into darkness. The nest sprawls before them in the southeastern chamber. Dragon eggs rest in careful arrangement, radiating warmth. The adventurer approaches and searches the pile. A nearby dragon does not take kindly to this theft. The red dragon rises, a creature of fire and fury. Scales gleaming, breath weapon primed. Fire fills the chamber. The adventurer takes position, using the very eggs they seek as cover, and engages. Magic crackles, steel rings against scale. The dragon fights with primal intensity, defending what is theirs by ancient right. But the dragon falls. The adventurer searches once more. A dragon egg, impossibly hot, is secured. 2 down, 1 to go. East of the dragon's lair, a campsite materializes from the jungle's embrace. Eggs rest here too, jaguar eggs, though the adventurer harbors doubts about their true origin. They search regardless. A nearby jaguar does not take kindly to this trespass. The black jaguar is cunning. It tracks, it hunts. The adventurer must face it directly, standing firm against a predator in its prime. The jaguar falls. The egg is claimed, though doubts linger about whether any jaguar truly laid such an egg. It matters not. 3 eggs, 3 options. The mission complete. The adventurer returns to Tal Taclan, eggs in hand. Neskedi, Kawiodl, and Akatsin set to work immediately. They paint, they adjust, they do everything in their power to make each egg resemble the fallen Humpty Dumpty. The time for judgment arrives. All 3 eggs rest upon the wall, each carefully prepared, each a potential successor to the original. The adventurer considers each in turn. The chicken egg is well crafted, the paint job admirable, but it is too small, just slightly too small to match Humpty Dumpty's magnificence. It will not do. The dragon egg shows promise in its size, impressive in its presence, but the paint melts and runs. The egg's innate heat cannot be overcome. It cannot serve as Humpty Dumpty's replacement. The jaguar egg appears perfect. The size matches, the paint holds. This is it. This must be the one. Humpty Dumpty has been successfully replaced. And then, gravity remembers it has unfinished business. All 3 eggs fall. Not 1, not 2, all 3. Bollocks. The wall claims them just as it claimed the original. 3 great falls, 3 shattered replacements, 3 failures added to the first. The cruel mistress of gravity is not yet satisfied. With no alternatives remaining, there is only one option. If Humpty Dumpty cannot be replaced, Humpty Dumpty must be restored. The shattered pieces must be reassembled. The impossible must become possible. The fragments of the original egg materialize before them. A puzzle of shell and memory scrambled by fate itself. Many pieces, many configurations, one solution. The adventurer sets to work. Piece by piece, the egg reforms. Each fragment finds its place, each connection made with careful precision. The colorful sections emerge, the smiling face that always greeted Alan, the eyes that never judged, only observed. The work is methodical, patient, meditative. Slowly, carefully, impossibly, Scrumpty Lumpy is made whole again. Not alive, perhaps, not truly restored, but together, complete. The men depart, their impossible task finished. The adventurer prepares to descend to help Alan carry up the feast he has been preparing. Surely the worst is over. Surely the crisis has been averted. Alan returns, laden with provisions for celebration. He speaks of his journey, of his life, of his certainty in his path. He has found his place in the world, he explains. Found meaning, found purpose. Here with his egg, in this sacred temple. He thanks the adventurer for their care, for their devotion to his most precious companion. He turns toward the temple exit, food basket in hand, ready to bring the feast inside. He takes one step beyond the threshold. Alan has a great fall. Bollocks. Gravity, it seems, was never after the egg. It was after Alan all along. The egg was merely the prologue. This is the conclusion. The adventurer stands in stunned silence. On the temple wall, the reassembled egg maintains its perpetual smile, forever watching, forever waiting. Below, at the base of the temple steps, Alan's bones rest where he fell. Perhaps there is a lesson here. Perhaps gravity simply chose violence that day. Perhaps some mysteries are not meant to be understood, only witnessed. The adventurer departs the temple of Talteok, forever marked by what they have witnessed. They carry with them the lessons learned through trial and tragedy. But more than the skills they gained, they carry the weight of memory. In the temple above, the egg remains, smiling, always smiling. A monument to devotion, to obsession, to the arbitrary cruelty of physics and fate. Visitors to the temple may glimpse it there, perched upon its wall, defying gravity one more day. And at the base of the temple steps, if one looks carefully, they might find weathered bones. A reminder that in Gielinor, even the simplest quests can end in tragedy. And perhaps that is the greatest lesson of all.